According to Jerome Powell, banking and cryptocurrency regulations would be loosened. XRP holders, welcome back to the CryptoZX channel. We appreciate your constant attention to the market, and because Wednesday is clearly almost over, we are seeing some green coins in the market at the same time as some red coins. In contrast, XRP has only decreased by roughly 0.4% in relation to the USD. Evidently, the price of XRP is currently above 2 and is holding extremely strongly, while the price of Bitcoin is down by roughly 0.8%. As you can see, as of the time this update was recorded, it was resting at 2.8. Compared to our last report, the market value is now $121.4 billion. The valuation has grown, and the 24-hour trading volume is nearly $3 billion. But first, as always, a brief disclaimer before we continue. This channel does not offer financial advice. Always conduct your own research and due diligence before making a cryptocurrency investment. Take a look at this Fed chair, Jerome Powell, who suggests that tariffs might affect inflation more significantly and for a longer period of time than was previously thought. And it kind of goes on to say that you could see why this would be the case if you truly understood how tariffs operate. Uncertainty, however, is still very much there at the moment, whether you believe it or not. In fact, the stock market experienced 2 days of straight declines, and cryptocurrency also experienced a regression overall. What is actually happening then? It's essentially dependent on the outside news about the tariffs that you're hearing. Thus, it is clear that several nations, particularly the US, are cooperating with one another at the moment to find a solution of some kind, but nothing is in place at the moment. The break is only for 90 days, of course. Naturally, a lot of doubts are raised about what will actually happen after the 90 days. Let's see. There's still plenty of time, and I believe we may overcome this if more nations band together and reach a consensus. Once more, this raises the question of whether this is indeed the case and whether a rate cut will occur at the next Fed meeting. Rate cuts are necessary, so please share your thoughts in the comments section below. I do anticipate another market shakeout if the rate cut does not occur. Yes, please share your personal opinions with me, but let's have a look at the most popular ones, Ripple and Bank of England. Furthermore, the Bank of England has partnered with the blockchain firm Ripple, based in the United States, to test an intra-ledger system that uses the intra-ledger protocol to synchronize various payments in various as-triggered reads. Processing cross-border payments across 2 RTG systems at the same time was successful in the test. Therefore, it goes without saying that I could see the XRP ledger's potential rather clearly. Additionally, you can see why there is such a high demand for XRP, and the best approach to examine the demand element is to see how businesses are responding. Naturally, there is a lot of talk about digital assets, and the demand for them is rising from an institutional perspective as well. At this point, the best way to look at it is as the filings for these ETFs are happening. Additionally, with 10 ETFs filed, XRP leads the field in terms of ETF filings, and I believe there will be more. So once more, it is evident to us which way things are going. Take a look at this. I wanted to sort of share this with you guys because it has piqued my interest. Blockchain technologies are not displacing large organizations like Swift. They're adopting them in order to adapt. Blockchains function as messaging platforms. A standard for messaging is ISO 2022. Swift is not a settlement platform, rather, it is a messaging network based on standards. It merely makes communication between banks easier. The XRPL ledger and HBAR are examples of blockchain protocols that are ISO compliant, which means they can communicate in the same language as Swift. And the game is just altered by this. Tokens are merely a byproduct of these blockchains. The activity and messages on the ledger are what give them their true value. Everything that is created, moved, and recorded throughout the network gives the tokens their market value. Swift won't be replaced, sorry. In order to develop, it will include blockchain technologies while attempting to be involved in every transaction. Very intriguing. Let's now examine the current state of the market, the price of XRP and other cryptocurrency prices like Bitcoin. Take a look at what transpired with the dominance index individuals. For example, let's set aside 10 seconds to thoroughly examine and determine what transpired. For the first time since February 2 end, we witnessed the domination increase to 64.2%. What have I been saying anyway? This is hardly the moment to be excited about altcoins, and it is beginning to demonstrate that, as you can see, a 64% dominance is what we are looking at. That's a big one. See a shakeout if you see Bitcoin. Suppose if Bitcoin fails to hold above 38.2 and retests 82.7, or that it falls below 38.2 and returns to the 0.50. Can you guess what will happen to altcoins? Compared to Bitcoin, altcoins will decline far more. We must therefore have that in mind. Naturally, there has been some type of uptick in the price of Bitcoin during the past several hours. You may witness this firsthand. It goes without saying that yesterday we were sitting at about 83. Since then, we have seen a slight rebound up to 84.7, followed by a slight decline. There is clearly a lot of resistance at this range. Before considering a 90K Bitcoin, you want to see the price of the cryptocurrency break over 86K. Having stated that, let's examine and assess the current state of XRP's pricing. I would like to present to you all the price of XRP as seen from a daily viewpoint, which is currently, of course, in the 38.2 fib zone. However, I would also like you all to look at it from an hourly perspective. Let's do a live refresh first and comprehend the current state of affairs. Additionally, we do observe a daily candle close, which I believe has already occurred. No, it actually takes place in the next 20 to 25 minutes, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about what's actually going on with XRP. We did drop to $2.30 yesterday night, below the 38.2, but now look at where we are. Leaning back above that crucial resistance once more. And that crucial support line is now helping us. And it ought to help you all realize how crucial XRP support is right now. So far, so good. Evidently, this accumulation trend is still in place. Once more, you can see how the price does not appear to be as horrible as many people make it seem if you look at it from a daily standpoint. It is clear that we are still in the 38.2 accumulation trend. I am aware that people are eager to witness that breakthrough, but you cannot undercut one step at a time. This pertains to both dominance and the current state of Bitcoin. I'm going to download your thoughts. I'll see you on CryptoZ XP later.